Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully we'll get some more people joining us. With a couple of us who are here, I think it would be really interesting to hear from you. Cami and I have talked before, but you and Heather don't know each other. So Cami, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. Can you share where you're located? What's the name of your business? And then also kind of what's your big goal? You're here to learn how to grow your cleaning business. So what's one of your big goals? So where you're located, the name of your business, and a big goal that you have for your business.
All right. I'm located in New York, Long Island. Um, my business name is Cammy's Cleaners, and my big goal is to, uh, eventually get to a place where my company can just run itself,
Okay.
and I can just, check in from time to time.
So kind of a freedom-based business.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great. And that's one of the things that we teach in Cleaning Business Fundamentals. We help people get to that point. And my business has gotten to that point. So if I can do it, I know you can. My business doesn't really need me too much anymore. All right. So Heather, how about you? Where are you located? What's the name of your business? And what's one big dream that you have?
I am in Indiana, and my cleaning business is called Pristine Pros Cleaning. And my goal, my big long-term goal, I guess, is for me to not have to go out in the field, and for me to just, pretty much schedule my employees and have them go out and do the field work for me.
Great. Yeah, that is what in our coaching program, we call that becoming mop free. And
Yes.
we like to celebrate when people become mop free. And it's a big day. It's a really big day. Actually, I just met with one of my coaching clients today, and she's been mop free all week. And she's like, oh
Wow.
my gosh, I don't know what to do with myself. And I'm like, so now she's working on her business instead of in her business, and doing things like making the job better for her team, and reaching out to more prospective clients and things like that. So that's really when your growth can take off. When you're freed up from cleaning every day, that's when you really can start to do the things that make your business grow very rapidly. So yeah, I love those. I love those goals. That's great. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. I have a feeling a couple more people will kind of join as we get going, but that's totally fine. So I'm going to bring up a little presentation. And the reason that I love talking about hiring employees, because, your business isn't a business fully until you have a team. And this is your ticket to the growth that you're looking for. One employee can bring in a fully optimized full-time cleaning employee can bring in anywhere from $60,000 a year to $90,000 a year to your business, depending on where you're located. And, that's a big deal. And often we get so focused on getting clients, and a client might only bring in like $3,500 to $5,000 a year to your business. But what we really should be focusing on is getting more employees, and then the clients come later. And this is the thing that really turned things around for me. And when I started focusing on my team and hiring the right people on my team, that's when my business took off. Welcome, Trina. We're glad to see you here. So I'm glad you made it. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So, well, we're glad you're joining us. I'm just getting started. So I'm going to bring up a presentation. And if you have questions in the midst of my presentation, I'll probably be asking you a few questions. But if you have any questions, don't feel, feel free to interrupt me. Say, hey, Jeannie, can I ask you a question about that? but I will have time at the end. I'll have plenty of time to answer whatever questions you have, or if you want to know anything about the coaching program that I teach in. But I'm going to share my screen so you can see my presentation. It's much more exciting to look at than I am. Whoops, I got to put it on. There we go. Okay. All right. So can you see the presentation? Everybody see it? Yes?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for letting me know. All right. So today we are going to talk about how to hire the right employees. And as I was saying, this is the ticket to rapid growth for your business. And you may hear a lot of people say today that nobody wants to work. And that isn't really true. It's knowing where to look for them and how to attract them to your business. So why we're here today, and I've shared this before, my business was quite a mess when I first got started. And especially once I started hiring more employees and not hiring the right people, it got even messier. And I was overwhelmed and stuck. I couldn't grow my business any farther because I didn't have policies and procedures in place. I didn't have systems around my hiring process. And I was hiring completely the wrong people for my business. And when you hire the wrong people, it sucks all the time and energy out of you. And that's what I was experiencing. I was exhausted and I couldn't handle it. But I'm happy to say that today I have this team that you're looking at right now. I have over 20 cleaners on my team and 5 administrative staff. And we serve over 400 clients. And these people are absolutely amazing, but it's very intentional. I only choose amazing people to be on my team. And I would like each and every one of you, everyone who's here with me now and anyone who's watching this on the replay, to build an amazing team that you absolutely love and a business that you're so proud of, and not one that consumes all of your time and energy, but one that gives you the lifestyle and the income that you are hoping for and dreaming of. And I can tell you that being part of Cleaning Business Fundamentals really has helped me achieve those goals. So my goal for you today is to help you to grow your business. When you become a great employer, it attracts more opportunities to you. It's kind of amazing how it changes your life. And when you hire the right employees, this makes your business grow faster, and it's just a much more enjoyable experience for everyone involved. So today I want to help you overcome the fear of hiring the wrong person. Many people I see get stuck because they're afraid they're going to pick the wrong person, so they just don't hire. And so I want to help you feel in control of that process so that you're not afraid of it. And like we were talking about with Heather, I want to help you put down the mop. If you are currently cleaning in the field, you can't grow any farther than what your 2 hands can do. And so I want to help you work on your business instead of in your business. And you have to put down the mop to do that. And you need employees to put down your mop. We really want to help you become mop free. So this is a great quote by Jim Collins. He wrote the book Good to Great, and he studied companies all over the world, hundreds of companies, and he discovered there was a huge difference between the companies that were good and the companies that were great. And I think all of us want to be more than good. We want to be great. And this is an important part to remember. People are not just your most important asset. The right people are. You can have lots of people on your team, but if they are not the right people, believe me, I've experienced it, you're going to have a mess. And I was living in a circus. And it was great when I was able to fix that. It took some time, but the steps that I'm going to share with you today are exactly what I used to fix my business. Now, I've shared this with you before, but the cleaning industry is growing. And so you have a great opportunity. But to take advantage of this growing cleaning industry, you have to have a great team. So what's the big deal about having the right people, the right employees? And, why do you have to have a team? There are so many benefits to having a team. And I think when we all started a business, we wanted more than just a job. We wanted to build something. And I think all of us have a why in our heart of what we envision our business can do for ourselves and for other people. So a team is going to help you reach goals in your personal and professional life that you never could reach on your own. It's going to help you put down that mop, and it's going to let you open your mind to dreaming even bigger than you could have possibly ever imagined. And I can tell you the truth that I never dreamed as big as my business actually became. And now I'm a coach, and I coach hundreds of people all over North America and internationally. And I never thought that that was where I was headed. But because I have a great team, I'm able to actually work almost full time helping other business owners. It's so rewarding. And that's what having a great team can do for you. You might build your business to a certain point and you have your team running it for you. You might start another business. You might start a nonprofit. You might want to spend time with your family more or travel more, and you'll be able to do that. I actually have some friends in the cleaning business that operate their business 100% remotely. I have one friend, her name's Teresa, and she lives in an RV and travels all over the country and operates her business from her RV. And that's called a freedom-based business. And when you have the right team, those are the kinds of things that you could do. But I want you to know that if your business depends on you, you don't own a business, you have a job, right? And I did this in the beginning. When I started my business, I didn't really start a business, I just started a new job. And Michael Gerber, who wrote E-Myth, this is a great book. If you haven't read it, I strongly encourage you to buy it or listen to it. It's just a short story about a business owner who runs a pie shop. And she finds very quickly that she's the only one who can make really great pies. And it actually becomes almost a prison for her. She has to work around the clock making pies because she hasn't put systems in place and built a team to help her run her business. So if you haven't read E-Myth, I really suggest it. Okay, so what we're going to go over today. First off, we're going to talk about when you're staffing, if you're going to choose between having independent contractors or W-2 employees. And I know we see a lot of both of these in the cleaning industry. So I'm going to explain to you the difference and why you would pick one over the other. We're going to talk about creating an ideal employee profile. So those of you who watched my earlier webinar about finding the right clients and attracting the right clients, we did an ideal client profile. Well, today we're going to talk about an ideal employee profile. This is equally and maybe even more important that you get the right people on your team. We're going to talk about how to write a great job ad. Now, this makes a huge difference, so I can't wait to talk about that. And then I'm going to give you some tips for screening and interviewing your new employees. It's going to be great. And I want to congratulate each one of you and those of you who are watching on the replay on investing this moment in time in learning more so that you can grow your business. That is how the most successful people that you see in the world grow their businesses, by investing their time and their resources in learning more. And I became a member of Cleaning Business Fundamentals back in 2017, so 6 years ago. But prior to that, I had no idea what I was doing in the cleaning business, but I learned very quickly from other experts how to be the most successful that I can be in the cleaning business in ways that I never thought I could before. So if you ever want to know more about Cleaning Business Fundamentals, we have lots of different ways you can learn in our program. I would love to talk with you about it because that was a life-changing choice for me. And my coach, Debbie Sardone, who created Cleaning Business Fundamentals, she just introduced me to a friend of hers today, who is a billionaire. And this billionaire, who spoke to my group today, shared that she has coaches. So if millionaires and billionaires have coaches, I think we should all have coaches. So whether it's a paid coach or it's a mentor, someone else in the cleaning industry who's a little farther along than you are, who can help you, always seek out help, because most people are willing to share, and we all love to see each other grow. So keep learning, and congratulations for investing your time and energy in this today. All right, so first let's talk about 1099s versus W-2 employees. This is super important, and I don't want you to miss this. I see a lot of people in the cleaning industry have what we call a 1099 or an independent contractor employee. And so a lot of times when I talk to people and I ask them why they have independent contractors, they're like, well, everybody's doing it. So today we're going to go over the IRS definition of what an independent contractor truly is and what an employee truly is. And then I'm going to share with you a document, and I'll give you a link where you can go download some documents. I'm giving you like 5 documents today. So you've hit the mother load of tools today. But I'm going to give you a 20-factor test that the IRS uses to determine if you should be employing independent contractors or W-2 employees. All right, so the difference between an independent contractor and a W-2 employee is the relationship that that person has with the company who's employing them. So an independent contractor is that they are independent. They're a business on their own. And if you do have independent contractors, they should have their own insurance, because they will not be covered under your insurance. So they're not protected, and your clients are not protected unless they each have their own insurance. An employee works for you. They would be covered under any of your insurance. Your employee would be covered. And an independent contractor, many people don't realize this, but you cannot tell them what to do. You can only tell them the result that you want. So for example, you can say, I want you to clean this house, but you cannot train them how to clean it. You also, like employees, you can train, right? You can have a training program, and you can play your W-2 or train your W-2 employees. Independent contractors also have to provide all their own tools, equipment, and supplies. But an employee, you can provide those for them and tell them which ones to use and how to use them. But an independent contractor, you cannot. An independent contractor makes their own schedule. You can't tell them where to go or when to be there. But a W-2 employee, you can make their schedule, tell them what time to report and things like that. Also, you can't, like an independent contractor doesn't have to report directly to you. They can maybe give you a list of what they've done or something like that, or an invoice. But a W-2 employee, you can require them to report to you on a regular basis what they're doing, how they're doing it, you know, what results they've achieved. So those are some of the high level differences between a 1099 contractor and a W-2 employee. Let's see, I'm trying to think of, oh, and the other thing is independent contractors typically don't work for you every day. They will work for you one time or frequently, but not necessarily every day. And there's a continuing relationship with W-2 employees where they would be working with you every workday, or they have a regular schedule. And independent contractors typically work for other people too, not just for you. That's another big determining factor. So the reason that the IRS looks at this is because of taxes. The IRS wants to get their taxes when the work is being, or when the payroll is being done. They don't want to wait until the end of the year or a quarterly deposit, which is what 1099 workers usually do. So the IRS would like you to have W-2 employees because they want you to withhold taxes and then submit those on a regular basis. I mean, that's a big part of it. It's also a protection for workers because a 1099 worker may not realize how much income they've made. And at the end of the year, they may not be able to pay their taxes when they get their 1099 from their the contractor. So, you know, the IRS is checking this out. They're looking for this. And in service businesses, they check if your employees are W-2 or 1099s. And I've read several stories of employers who have had to pay fines to the W-2 to the IRS for having independent contractors instead of employees, because it actually is illegal in most cases in the residential cleaning business, because we tell them where to go, when to go there, how to do the job. We give them the tools, we tell them what to use, we make them wear a uniform. And that is not an independent contractor. So I'm going to share, actually, I'll share this link right now. And you know, if you're on your computer, you can take a look at it. This is a Dropbox link where there are several documents that I'm going to share with you for tonight. And you can download those, edit them, and use them in your business. Does anybody have any questions about 1099 versus W-2 employees? You can just unmute and ask.
I think the biggest thing I've heard and I've been thinking about myself is actually paying into the Social Security, workman's comp, and how expensive that is. And the fact that once you're in that, you can't change, you can't get back out.
Right.
So what do you say about that? That's like, I don't know, just a big burden on my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a cost of doing business, and all other employers are paying it. You set your pricing in order to be able to pay those things. And not only are you protecting the employee when you are, you know, withholding the Social Security and having workers' comp on them, but you're protecting your client, because the employee can actually go back and sue the client if anything goes wrong, or if they get injured on the job, they can go after the client if you don't have a W-2 employee working under workers' comp. So it is just a cost of doing business. It is a bigger expense, but your pricing should reflect that. And generally, most professional cleaning businesses charge more than individual cleaners. And it's because we have expenses like this. But our clients also appreciate that, because they understand the level of training and control that we have with employees versus independent contractors. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
It is expensive, but we work that into our cost. So I know what we call it, our cost of goods sold. And did I talk about that in the first one? I think I might have talked about that a little bit in our first workshop, but it's our labor costs, and our labor costs include the actual cost to pay the employee, then the employer taxes, which are like the FICA, the Social Security, and the workers' comp and unemployment insurance. Now, you know, all of those things are expensive, but they're also a protection for your employees. It makes them feel more secure working for you. And it's just, I just plan those costs into what I charge my client so that I know at the end I'm going to have a profit. But thanks for that question, Heather, because I think that's everyone's concern. It's just more expensive. But it also provides a lot of protections for you, because you won't get fined if the IRS audits you. It protects your employees and it protects your clients. All right. So number 2, I want to talk about the ideal employee profile. And it's very similar to the ideal client profile. And it's just as or more important to have ideal employees, because you have to live with them all the time, and you want them to be somebody you really enjoy working with, and who's going to do a great job for your clients, and who's going to love the job, right? And so you want to understand who is that person before you go out and start hiring them. I actually just talked with a business owner today in Canada. She's getting ready to hire her first office person. And we went through this exercise together, and she said how helpful it was. She hadn't even thought about that she should do that before she even starts running ads. So I encourage you to do this exercise when you're getting ready to hire employees. I think you're going to find it really, really helpful. And one hint that I want to give you is you want to look for leaders. In the cleaning business, people have to be somewhat self-reliant. They're kind of out there by themselves. And in my business, all of my team pretty much cleans solo by themselves. It's really the most efficient business model in the residential cleaning industry. And that's what we teach in Cleaning Business Fundamentals, is how to run that type of a profitable business. And so they kind of have to be self-motivated. And also you want people who can teach others. Actually, I like to see business owners hire their first employee to be someone who's pretty strong, who's actually had a job in the past where they've trained other people. Like they worked in a restaurant and they taught other people, you know, how to work in the kitchen or how to be a server, or, you know, they worked in childcare and they trained other people, because you really want your first person to be able to train your second person and your third person and your fourth person. Because if you're the trainer, you're going to get pulled back into the field. So write that down. Your first person should be someone who can become a trainer. I actually have a business owner I worked with a couple years ago and encouraged him to do that. And he did that. And he went from a business where he had 0 clients and 0 employees to a business where he had 7 employees and 100 clients in about 6 months, because he was able to just hire and train, hire and train, because he had his first employee was a strong one and was able to learn how to train all the other employees. So this business owner actually never cleaned in the field because he started with 0 and his first employee was a trainer. So it's a great tip. I hope you'll use it. And then you want to make sure that they GWC. So GWC, and you might want to write this down too, is get it, want it, and have the capacity to do it. So we have a lot of people who want our job, but they don't actually get it. They don't understand what clean is. And I'm sure you know people like this. And, you know, and then there are people who get it, but they don't really have the capacity. They can't move at the speed they need to, or maybe they can't bend over or pick up a, you know, vacuum and carry it up the stairs. So we have to make sure that they get it, want it, and have the capacity to do it. So you have to know who you are looking for, right? Now, my family's a big fan of The Office, and this is Dwight Schrute. If you don't know who he is, but he's a crazy man. And he drives everyone in the workplace crazy. So you need to know, you don't want somebody like this, but if you aren't careful and you don't know who you're looking for and you don't define that ideal employee, you could end up with someone like Dwight. But I think we all would prefer somebody on our team like Pam. She's sweet and positive. She's a hard worker and she wants to help the company grow, right? So if you want to get somebody like Pam, you have to understand who she is and what she's looking for if you want to attract her. So in your forms packet or your toolkit tonight, you will find this ideal employee profile worksheet. So it's a 4-step process, just like the ideal client worksheet, but a little bit different. So the way that you do this, the way that you figure out your ideal employee profile, is you first choose some role models. Now, if you already have employees, you might have an employee that you absolutely love and you wish you could clone them. And if you have someone like that, then this would be a person to choose as the role model. That's step 1. I have someone on my team, her name's Megan, and she's been with me for all of the 7 years that we've been open. She's absolutely amazing and we love her. And I used her as the role model of the ideal employee. If you don't have employees yet, you might be the role model. You could use yourself as a role model, or think of somebody else who you think would be a great cleaning employee. I'm going to take a sip of water. I've been talking all day. So then step 2 is you want to define those ideal employee attributes. And I have given you a list of ideal employee attributes, but you can just write some in there. So you want to think about, what do you want this person to be? Like, one of mine is positive. Another one is professional, respectful, responsible, dependable. So you can go through and circle all the words that are in that profile for your ideal employee. And you can also add some, like I said. Then step 3 is you're going to narrow down your list. You want to narrow it down to 15 or less attributes that you're looking for your ideal employee. And you do this with the keep, kill, combine method. So you circle the ones you want to keep, you cross out the ones you want to kill. That means that, that's probably a duplicate of something else. Or you can combine ones that go together. So keep, kill, or combine till you get down to 15. And then your final step is you write out those 15 attributes, and then you describe what that attribute looks like in more detail. So then you have a very clear picture of who your ideal employee is. I have a mentor who I absolutely adore, and he has helped me grow so much as a leader. But he shares a story about when he was thinking about getting married, he did this for his prospective wife. And he wrote down everything that he had hoped she would be. And the really cool thing was, because he had identified who his ideal partner for life would be, when she walked into his life, he knew it was her the moment he met her. The moment he met her, he could hear the birds and the angels singing. Because he already knew who she would be. He had written down her hair color and that it would be curly and the way she smiled and just all kinds of things about her. This is exactly what can happen when you know what kind of employee you want. You will be more likely to recognize them during your hiring process. So this is a really helpful tool, and don't skip this step when you're hiring. I think you'll find it very empowering. Okay, so now you know who this ideal employee is. You know what they look like, you know what they act like, you know what they care about. Now it's time to write your job ad. And this is such an amazing, powerful tool, writing a great job ad. So when I first started out in the cleaning business, my job ad basically said, I'm hiring house cleaners, I'm paying this much, and if you want to work for me, you better do this and you better do that, and you must do this and this requirement and that requirement and this requirement, apply here. It said, must have your own vehicle, must love cleaning, must have a driver's license, whatever those requirements were, but it was not very friendly, not very appealing. And then I wondered why all I got was grumpy people working for me. And, that's what I was asking for. What I learned very quickly when I joined Cleaning Business Fundamentals was the power of selling my job in a way that would attract my ideal employee. And the job ad is often the first contact that a prospective employee has with you. So you want to make sure that they understand what your business is all about and why your job is a great job. And then tell them about the requirements. But first, get them excited about doing what you do and working with you in your business. So I like to say, offer a great job. In your job ad, you want to tell them about J, the joy that your job brings into their lives and the lives of others. Then you want to tell them about the opportunities, make great pay, and things like that, and that there's opportunity for growth, that, you're going to be, your business is growing and there's more opportunity for them to grow with you. And then you want to talk about benefits. And whenever I say benefits, people are like, whoa, Jeannie, stop there. I can't afford to give people health benefits. And that's not what I'm talking about. When I talk about benefits, I'm talking about the great things about your job, that you offer paid training. Maybe you provide a uniform. I know in my business, one of the big benefits is we are a no drama workplace, only positive attitudes here. People love that line. And I have several prospective employees who say, boy, that really got my attention. So you're welcome to borrow it. And I talk about, we don't work nights and weekends. I pay on a weekly basis. These are all benefits to your job. And I usually try to list 10 of them, because you just have to get creative. trying to think of what some of the other ones are. Oh, I know what one of them that I like to list that people really like too is staying active. I often tell prospective employees that our job is like going to the gym every day, but you get paid to show up. So it attracts people who enjoy being active. So those are some of the benefits that you can talk about, and you can get creative and make it fun. Now, if you're going to talk about a great job, though, you have to deliver a great job. So you can't just talk about it. Your job actually has to be great. And I made a mistake when I was first starting out. I would talk about a great job, but then when people would come to work for me, it wasn't as happy of a place as I had painted a picture of in my job ad. And I lost people for that very reason. One person in particular, I literally cried when she left because she would have been she was my 100% ideal employee. But when she showed up at work, I was so overwhelmed and stressed out that when she would come in, it wasn't a happy workplace and I wasn't managing it well. So you want to make sure to deliver a great job too. So in your toolkit that you get in the download, there is this hiring ad template to help you write an amazing ad that attracts your ideal candidates. So you want to start with a great position description and play around with that word. If you want to say house cleaners or housekeepers or house cleaning or professional house cleaning, some people say cleaning technicians. Play around with that because that affects how many people will respond to your ad. And then I talk about creating the magnet. Now, the magnet is a description of your business that will be the most attractive to the applicants you want to attract, right? So talk about why you do what you do, how what you do changes lives, and how it can change their lives. If you have core values, talk about that, or any achievements that you have, or any organizations that you give to or support through your business. People want to know this kind of stuff. People, I think the statistic is like people are like 70 something % more likely to want to work for you if your business is aligned with a cause or a charity. So, things like that really gets people excited. It really lights them up. And then, like I said, you want to talk about 10 things that they will love about your company. These are the benefits. Then you might want to talk about some personality traits of the people who work with you. Like our team members are energetic and positive, and we all respect each other, and our business cares about you. That kind of stuff. People love to hear it. Then you invite them to apply, and then you end with the details and the requirements. That's the last thing you talk about. You keep that as brief as possible. Obviously, there are some deal breakers. They have to be able to drive a car. They have to be able to, lift up to 20 pounds or 25 pounds. They have to have a driver's license, those kinds of things. There are requirements, but you don't want that to be the first thing that you talk about. You want to get them excited about the ad and then get them to apply. So I do want to remind you about our upcoming event, CBF Live. If you have any questions about this, and if you really are serious about growing your business, I really encourage you to join me there. I was just working on this event the other day, and I'm getting my presentation ready. There's going to be hundreds of cleaning business owners there, and I wanted to share this with you before we finish today, just to remind you that there's still an opportunity to use my coupon code Jeannie half to get half off of your ticket to CBF Live. And it's going to be April 13th through the 15th in Fort Worth. If you've never been to Fort Worth, it's one of the funnest places on earth, and it's definitely one of the funnest places in Texas. And also, if you sign up for CBF Live before I finish these webinars on Monday, I will offer you a free coaching session with me, and we can talk about your business. And specifically, I can give you some tips to help you take your business to the next level. All right, number 4, and our final step in hiring the right people. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but we're going to stop at interviewing today. But I'll go into some of the other things that we teach in our program. But number 4 is ask the right questions. So phone screening or screening your applicants and interviewing is such a part that a lot of people don't put a lot of thought into until they get there and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to ask. I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what kind of answers I'm looking for. So doing some research on this, there's a lot of information online. You can Google interviewing and phone screens all day long and find lots of great information that will be helpful to you, but I'm going to give you some tips today. So when we place an employment ad, we typically do that on Indeed.com. That is the largest platform used in the residential cleaning industry. I have several people who like professionally run ads on Indeed, and they choose Indeed over all of the other platforms, but you can run ads. Actually, I just did a couple of posts in like local job boards and things like that today for an office position I'm hiring for. So you can post in other places, but Indeed is by far the most used job search engine. And when I place an ad there, once I start getting applications, I start screening them as soon as they start coming in, because once people apply with you, they've probably applied with 10 other companies. And you have to act very quickly to get good people these days. So you want to get them on the phone as quickly as possible. So if I see an applicant who I really want to talk to, I think about, yep, they fit my 15 attributes of my ideal employee profile, at least according to their application. So I want to get them on the phone and have a short screening conversation with them. I will text them, and I'm going to suggest texting because a lot of people don't look at email anymore, and they won't answer their phone if it's a strange phone number. So I usually will text people and I'll be like, hi, this is Jeannie with Jeannie Cleaning. Thank you so much for your job application. I would love to talk with you. When would be a good time for me to give you a call? I do want to get them on the phone, but if I just call them, they probably won't answer. So that's one tip that I would really suggest for you when you're ready to hire. Text first to set a time to talk with them. And I'm going to give you some phone screening questions that have worked for me all these years to help you out with that. And then if I like them in the phone screen, I want to interview them in person as quickly as possible. We really do have to hire fast right now. There's so much competition for the good people out there that you do have to move kind of quickly through the hiring process. So I try to interview within 24 hours of the phone screen. And so I'm going to share with you my interview questions. And then basically I ask a lot of questions and then I shut up and I just listen. If you let people talk, they will tell you a lot about them. So interviewing is asking, but it's very much important that you listen. And then once you've listened enough to know that you want them on your team, then you sell. You sell your job just like you sell cleaning. Hiring is selling. You're selling your job to your prospective employees. So really, really listen. A lot of people don't want to talk about themselves. So you have to have questions that pull information out of them. Like, the proverbial interview question is, tell us about yourself. And I love this. Kat says, I'd rather not, I need this job. And some people kind of have that attitude. So you have to be warm and friendly and really be able to pull information out of it, kind of become that person that they want to talk to. And it's amazing what people will tell you once you get into an interview with them. I don't even want to say, some of the stuff is just shocking sometimes, but it's good that it came out in the interview and not after you've already hired them. All right. So in your toolkit that you're getting today, you will get these 2 documents, a list of phone screening questions and a list of interview questions that I have used for my 7 years in business that have been so helpful for me. And you can download these and change them and edit them. But these questions have worked really well. So the phone screening questions are really about their what we call knockout questions. These are must-haves. Like one of the things at my company is a must-have is you must enjoy working around pets. So I ask people, how are you with working around pets like cats and dogs? And if they hesitate for even a slight second, they probably are not going to fit, because one of the attributes of an ideal employee in my company is someone who loves pets. About 90% of the houses we clean have some form of animal in them. And people have to be comfortable around them. And I have had employees who hated dogs. That doesn't work out very well when, Benji is jumping all over you and trying to lick you in the face. You have to be able to handle that and be okay with it. And so we really hire people who love pets. And many of my employees will say all of the pets that they meet when cleaning houses, they consider that a job benefit because they love animals that much. So understanding what your knockout questions are and then using them. So they might not be the same as mine, but like there's one question that I ask is, are you looking for a job for 6 months, a year, or 5 years or more? It's a trick question. I'm trying to make them feel comfortable to tell me that they're looking for a job for 6 months, but I don't want that person, right? I want someone who wants to be with me at least a year. At least they'll tell me that, right? So these are very helpful. And then the interview questions, you can't really see them here, but these are interview questions that have really helped me. Now, one of them is what's important to you is one of my favorite interview questions, because then people open up about their life. And there are lots of questions that are illegal to ask. Like you can't ask people about their children or if they're planning to have children, things like that. You can't ask questions about that because of discrimination. But when you ask them what's important to you, if they have children, they're going to tell you, right? Or if they want to start a family, they'll probably tell you. And these are, a lot of my team have children. There's nothing wrong with having children, but I want to know more about them personally. Another great question that I like to ask is, do you feel lucky or blessed? Now, this question, lucky and or blessed, like some people consider lucky and blessed to be about the same thing, but some people don't like to use the word lucky. So I ask this question because I'm trying to determine their outlook on life. So if somebody says, I feel really lucky, I feel very blessed, my life has been great, I have so many things to be thankful for, that's a positive person. But if somebody says to me, I can't think of anything that makes me feel lucky. No, I'm not lucky. Actually, no good things ever happened to me. That person does not have a positive outlook on life, because if you live in the United States and you drive a car and you have a cell phone and you have a TV set and you have enough food to eat and a bed to sleep on every night, you are blessed, right? And so this is a great screening question for positivity, and feel free to use it and all the questions that I'm sharing with you. So any questions about the interviewing process? I love questions, so feel free. Has anyone tried interviewing?
I had one question.
Yes, Cami.
So I had this one employee, and she fit all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
She had prior experience. She was a leader. She was positive, and overall, just you felt comfortable. You felt like anybody can work with this person.
Great.
Long story short, she stopped calling me. Well, she stopped showing up to work and stopped answering my phone calls to see if she was coming to work. And then I got a letter of unemployment in the mail, and it was a year-long fight. So that scares me a little bit, as far as hiring, because it makes me second guess myself because she checked all my boxes,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a big reason as to why I'm having such a hard time reaching out for employees right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it, man. Once you get burned, it's hard to come back from that. And I'll tell you, those kinds of things have happened to me as well. And, but I'm glad you asked that question because I think we all have that fear of not, well, what do I do? And I don't know how to handle unemployment claims and I don't know this and that. And these are the kinds of things that we teach in cleaning business fundamentals, but it doesn't, today I don't have time to go through the whole life cycle of an employee. But the way that I took you through this today, through these 4 steps, the journey for your employees continues, right? So after the interview, there should be some kind of onboarding meeting or an orientation to prepare them for what it's like to be in cleaning. Like during orientation, I like to say things like, oh, by the way, your body's probably going to hurt on day 3, but that's okay. It'll go away. It's just your muscles getting used to this new movement. But that day 3 has scared off a lot of people when their body starts to hurt. But the fact that I'm giving them that warning, they make it through day 3, because they knew it was coming. So I try to get people as mentally prepared for the job as best I can. Then there's your training process. How, well planned out is your training process. Then there's, when they go on their own and they're cleaning on their own, what does that transition look like and what kind of support is there for them? And then there's the ongoing relationship that you have with the employee and ongoing training and support and praise and recognition and, just building a great team culture within your business. All of those things help you keep those ideal employees. And you can't do it all at once, a little bit at a time. So, but I do think for me, I kept tweaking my orientation when I would see that people would drop off for different reasons. I'd be like, oh, I need to talk about that in orientation so people are mentally prepared for that when that happens. Or I need to teach them more about cleaning before they actually go in the field because it's so overwhelming the first day that they go out. And we may not realize it, but people are really nervous on their first day, whether they act like it or not. They've never gone into a stranger's house and cleaned it before. So it's just a very strange experience. All of us, we're just so comfortable walking into other people's houses and cleaning them. But for a new person, it's kind of nerve-wracking. So all of the ways that you can think of preparing them, you do it. And you're not going to be perfect at first, but you'll get better and better over time. And, but like I said, lean into communities like the one that we have here and ask for input from people. Like, what do you think? Like a great question to post in our your house cleaning business group would be, okay, what are some great things that I should tell a new employee before they go in the field? That's one way to prepare, is just to think through all of that. And so we've gotten better and better over time, and that has helped us create those relationships. Another thing, Cami, that really helped us is we have regular one-to-one talks with our team members, and it's not just about work. It's about, how are you doing? How's your job going? What can make your job better? Is there anything going on in your life that we should know about that we can support you in? Because sometimes there's something going on out there in their life and they don't want to tell you, or they're afraid to tell you. But if you ask, they're more likely to tell. And this helps with those surprises that come up. Like, I just had somebody tell me, another cleaning business owner, they were so upset because an employee didn't tell them that they'd registered for classes, and they just up and quit and said, oh, I registered for classes. They start next week. I have to quit. But if we were having regular conversations, talking with them about what's going on in their life and what their goals are and, where they want to end up someday, we would have known that she signed up for classes. Does that help?
That helps so much. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, good. Well, I'm glad. That makes me happy. That's what we're here for. So And that's what we teach in Cleaning Business Fundamentals. It doesn't stop here. There's so much more to it. But when you have a strong, growing, vibrant, positive team and you build this great culture in your business acts like a magnet to attract more and more positive people to it. And, feel free to stalk my business, jeanniecleaning.com. You'll get lots of ideas there about my employment process. I've got a little video there that our employees made of, why they love working for us, that kind of thing. Testimonials from people who worked for you before. Once you get bigger, those are great things to share. But my goal is just to help everyone here be able to grow your businesses, because I know that's the dream in your heart. And like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. Now, once you do have employees, I was talking about recognition and praise. This is such an important piece to keeping your team members. And if you don't appreciate your employees, your competitor will. They're looking for great talent too. And the people who are competing for employees out there are not just other cleaning business owners. They are every other employer out there that's in kind of that same wage area and time of day. So it could be retail, restaurant, healthcare, manufacturing, hotels. You have a lot of competition for the people out there. So you really have to make your job shine and stand out. But then once they're with you, you really have to make them feel wanted and known. They have to feel like they have purpose. And they have to feel like they're accomplishing something every day. And this is, part of becoming a great leader. So just want to thank you guys. I'm going to just turn off my presentation for question and answer time. Reminder, I would love to see you in person at CBF Live. So if there's any way, shape, or form you can join me there, please do reach out if you have questions. And just a reminder, the most important thing you can do as a leader and a business owner is to hire the right people, because that's the foundation of your business. These are my right people. And I know that they're out there waiting to come work for you too. These are some amazing people. I'm so grateful for them. We're going to have another training coming up next Monday. I'm going to be talking about technology, so don't miss that one. But in the meantime, does anybody have any questions about hiring, training, interviewing? I'm here to help. You can go ahead and unmute. And if you don't have a question, I would love to hear one or two things that you're going to go back and do using your new toolkit right away. How about you, Heather? What's one thing you're going to do?
Well, I still need to get started on my policies and procedures and all that stuff because I definitely want to have that in place, so that my employees know when I'm ready to hire, exactly what's expected. I know I have it down on paper. So that's one thing I really need to get going on too is, but I just wondered, like, I currently only have about 8 clients, and a lot of those clients I've worked for 6 years, and they're widowers. And so I really struggle with raising the rate on them because, they're widowers, they're on a fixed income. Mm-hmm. And I worked for them as an individual before I started my business. Mm-hmm. So with the fact that I only have 8 clients right now, what's the rate of growth? When do I need to start hiring employees? Because right now I'm still, just trying to have my income coming in. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, you got a few things going on there. First off, I want to encourage you on the policies. I think it's really smart. I wish I was that smart when I started hiring. I did not have my policies in place, but just want to encourage you that they don't have to be perfect when you get started. You just got to have some structure. But we often get held up by trying to be perfect. So we have a saying in cleaning business fundamentals, done is better than perfect. So just don't kill yourself over creating a perfect policy handbook because it will never exist. Your policy handbook is a living, breathing document. You can change it anytime. Second thing you mentioned was, well, first we'll go with when to hire. So a fully optimized full-time employee can serve from 16 to 20 clients in a month. 16 kind of recurring clients, and then probably 4 first-time or one-time cleans. So you have a ways to go before you're going to get there. And a lot of times in the cleaning business, when we're hiring our first and second employees, they will start as part-timers. And sometimes they'll be part-time the whole time. And then once you start really growing, you can start hiring full-time people. But it's okay for people to be part-time. And, you know, I had part-timers initially. Right now I have all full-time people. But that's another thing, you know, so there's a number for you. And then what you charge. And I get it, you know, we want to help people, but you are not a charity. And the grocery store is raising the prices for your clients. The gas station is raising prices for your clients. Every other product or service that your clients buy, the prices are going up. And they understand that. They completely understand it. And you cannot make a living by acting like a charity. I used to work in the nonprofit world. That's a really strange way to think of things. Like, I don't want to make money on this transaction. And you are in business to make money. And if you ever want to have employees, you have to charge enough, because you people will not want to work for you if you can't pay them well. It's not unkind to raise prices. It's good business. And I think you'd be surprised that your clients want the best for you. And some of the clients that you have today may not be the right client for you going forward. We talked about that during the right client talk. A client who can't pay what you need to charge to be profitable is not the right fit for your business. It's just a reality. Now they can go find someone who is going to charge them hardly anything, and then they get what they pay for. But, you know, it's not that they're a bad person or that you're a bad person. It's just business. But I understand exactly how you feel. I've had people on my schedule like that as well. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And there's no great answer when it comes to pricing and those things. But it's a conversation, you know, to have with those clients, and for them to understand that, you know, your costs are going up, and so you have to raise prices. But I encourage everyone who's watching today that you should be raising your prices on all your clients a minimum of once per year. When I started my cleaning business, I bought a little business from a friend who was retiring, and she had not raised prices in 14 years. And it was a mess trying to clean that up. But I obviously did it pretty well, because I still have probably half of those people are still on my client list. So 7 years later. But yeah, it's just part of pricing, and is just the part of an equation that we have to do for business.
Hey,
Yes. Hey, Trina.
hi, I'd like to chime in.
Yeah, please do.
I missed the 2 videos and I don't know what's going on, but if I just gave you a little background, I've been cleaning since 2017 through an app. And I'm a CNA. So
Oh, okay.
my guaranteed money was coming in through the CNA work, and anything I cleaned was a little extra in my pocket.
Yeah.
Long story short, my client, my agency, and my client, we separated on Monday. I've been having a hard time after working with this person for 4 years. Started getting a little toxic, and I said, I can't do this no more. The reality is,
It's a cleaning client.
This was a CNA client, yes.
Oh, a CNA client. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
but I had a date as the 7th to, which was gonna be my last day. So you cutting me off Monday, this Monday that just passed,
Mhm.
really had me on my feet for the last 2 days. I'm looking at numbers that I always predicted or what I wanted to see
Mhm.
long time ago, but it's hard having a whole bunch of projects, working 2 and 3 different jobs, and that's just not ideal. That's not what I want to do.
So
I
do
want
you want to build a cleaning business so that you don't have the other jobs?
exactly,
Okay, yeah.
exactly, and I'm
Well, you're in the
pushing.
right place.
Yep, I'm pushing right now.
You-
I've built a clientele through the app.
Good.
Okay, but I've seen at least 10 people ask me, do I clean? Can I have your card? I didn't even know how much work would come so quickly. Yeah, man,
Well,
so
good for
quickly.
you.
Yeah, and now I'm in this callback, callback, callback. But I'm like in the blind. I know nothing about the cleaning industry. I have my LLC, my EIN.
Good.
I just finished my virtual phone, email, and fax. I'm in the Google 411. There's so much that I need to learn from you, and I am willing to allow someone to coach me.
Nice.
I haven't paid taxes.
Yeah. Well, there's a
I got
lot
a
to
whole,
learn.
yes,
So I will make sure that you get the replays if you didn't see, because this is the
and
third
I didn't.
webinar.
I didn't.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that the replays get mailed out to everyone who registered. So you'll get those. And if you really want to grow your cleaning business, I'd love to see you at CBF Live, because it's going to be great and it's going to help a lot of people get
Now, what
started.
is that?
So
Because I missed.
CBF Live is, and I talked about it, you'll see it when you watch the replays.
Okay.
But CBF Live is the largest gathering in the US of residential cleaning business owners. We're meeting in Fort Worth, Texas in April,
Oh, wow.
April 13th, 14th, and 15th. Now, if you can't come, I completely understand, but this
Okay,
is
next.
going to be a gathering of cleaning business owners. So you're learning not only from me and my coach, Debbie, and all the other coaches who will be speaking from stage, but you also get to learn from the 400 people sitting in the room from you. Some of the best ideas I've ever gotten at some of these conferences have been from the person I sat next to.
Okay.
So that's a great event. But then also, I'll be coaching more in the Your House Cleaning Business Facebook group. I can always have a strategy session with you and talk with you about some other resources that we have. Like we have a business formation workshop that is recorded that you can get, and it takes you through all the things that you need to know to make you sure you have your business set up right. So we've got lots of tools and resources we can help you with. So maybe we can talk another time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you a message so we can set a time to talk.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for
Thank
being here
you. Thank
tonight.
you.
Yeah. Any other questions or any aha moments, things that you are going to take back and get started on right away in your business? You can unmute if you want to chat.
You were talking about appreciating the employees. It kind of just came into my mind. What about like some sort of quarterly bonus? Like a prepaid Visa card or something, so as the form of appreciation. Is that off base or?
No, a lot of people do things like that. Yep, things like that are great. We do something like we do a monthly bonus. We have a feedback program that like a survey goes out to our clients after every cleaning, and we ask how we did, and then we track those scores. And so if employees reach a certain level, they get a $50 bonus that month if they keep their feedback score high. But you don't need something like that to do that. It could just be, like we give rewards for when people get Google reviews, when their clients give a Google review, we give them a bonus. Yeah, things like that. But people love that kind of stuff. And the more you can do that publicly, if when you have more than one employee, that's really great. So praise in public. And if you have to, you know, talk to somebody about, you know, some kind of discipline, you do that in private. But people love praises almost as much as they love raises. And I like to always remind business owners of that you can't ever praise too much, ever. You cannot overpraise your team. And the younger generations eat it up. So they love being praised. That's a great thought, Loki, Heather. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So any other things that you found helpful today before we go, or any other questions?
All of it.
Oh, good, good. Well, I'll make sure that everybody gets access to the replays. Look at the chat, you can copy and paste the link that I put there for the Dropbox. If you didn't get that, reach out to me. I'll make sure that you have it. But that Dropbox has all the tools that I shared with you tonight that I created just for you. So, and then I will have one more of these on Monday night, March 20th. I can't believe it. March 20th already. That's like the day before the first day of spring. And I'm going to be talking about technology in the cleaning industry. So you can run your cleaning business without technology, but as you grow, it really helps you grow faster when you use technology. So I'm going to talk about some of the tools that we use in our business that you can consider as you grow. So I want to thank everyone for being here, and everyone who's watching this on the replay. Thank you for taking the time. I am honored to be your coach. I'm Jeannie Henderson with Cleaning Business Fundamentals, and I look forward to seeing you next time.